Welcome to Pop Culture Icons. I'm your host, Maya Starr. Today on Pop Culture Icons, what if I told you that the greatest prison isn't made of stone, but expectation? Today, we uncover how Princess Diana, trapped between royal duty and her yearning for genuine connection, dared to defy tradition, leaving you to wonder. Could your own vulnerability be the key to unlocking your most authentic self? Have you ever wondered what true courage looks like? Picture a hospital ward in 1987, where fear and stigma hang thick in the air. A princess walks in, but this isn't your typical royal visit. Princess Diana approaches an AIDS patient's bedside, removes her gloves, and extends her bare hand. In that moment, she shatters more than protocol. She demolishes a wall of prejudice that had condemned thousands to die alone. The world watched, transfixed, as Diana transformed from a shy nursery teacher into global royalty. But beneath the glittering tiaras and designer gowns lurked a deeper truth. She was suffocating. The palace walls weren't just physical boundaries. They represented centuries of tradition that dictated every gesture, every word, every breath. You might know the feeling. That gnawing sense that the life others expect you to live doesn't match the truth burning in your heart. For Diana, this disconnect became her catalyst for change. To understand the woman who would shake the monarchy, we must first meet the girl who shaped her. Picture Althorpe House, a sprawling estate where young Diana roamed vast, empty halls. The echoes of her footsteps mixed with distant laughter she could never quite reach. Even in a privileged world, she felt like an outsider. This early isolation carved deep channels of empathy in her heart. While other aristocratic children learned the proper way to hold a teacup, Diana learned to recognize loneliness in others' eyes. Her oddness, as some called it, wasn't a flaw. It was her superpower in the making. When Diana married Prince Charles, the world saw a fairy tale. 23 years old, dressed in yards of silk and dreams, she stepped into St. Paul's Cathedral as a commoner and emerged as the Princess of Wales. But fairy tales rarely survive reality's harsh light. Behind palace doors, she discovered that wearing a crown doesn't protect you from pain. Her marriage crumbled under the weight of expectations and infidelity. The press scrutinized every flaw, every tear. Yet in this crucible of public pressure, something remarkable began to emerge. While the establishment expected her to play the quiet, ornamental princess, Diana had other plans. She began visiting AIDS hospices when most people wouldn't dare enter the same room as patients. She walked through active minefields to highlight the plight of war victims. Each step away from tradition was a step toward authentic purpose. Think about the rules that cage you, the expectations that clip your wings. Diana's story teaches us that sometimes breaking protocol isn't just an act of rebellion, it's an act of necessary humanity. Her decision to touch AIDS patients without gloves wasn't just compassion, it was revolution. In an era when fear and misinformation led many to believe AIDS could spread through casual contact, Diana's simple gesture spoke volumes. This wasn't performative kindness. It was Diana's authentic response to human suffering. She understood that sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer another person is our presence. Our touch, our willingness to see them as human beings, not statistics. If you're enjoying pop culture icons, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Fame Formula. Discover how unknowns like Elon, Taylor Swift, and Beyoncé became cultural phenomena. Now, back to the episode. But authenticity comes at a cost. The more Diana connected with ordinary people, the more she disconnected from the royal establishment. Her candid interviews about mental health, her struggles with bulimia, and her crumbling marriage shocked the palace. They wanted a princess who would smile and wave. Instead, they got a woman who dared to be real. The media's obsession intensified. Photographers pursued her relentlessly, turning her life into a spectacle. Yet even as the pressure mounted, she refused to retreat behind palace walls. How many of us have the courage to do the same? On August 31, 1997, in a Paris tunnel, the story seemed to end. But Diana's death wasn't the end of her impact. The unprecedented outpouring of grief revealed something profound. She had connected with people in a way no royal had before. Not through protocol or position, but through vulnerability and genuine care. Today, Diana's influence lives on through her sons, who carry forward her commitment to humanitarian causes. Prince William and Harry learned from their mother that true nobility isn't about maintaining distance from people's pain. It's about bridging that distance with compassion. But Diana's most powerful legacy isn't in the charities she supported or the causes she championed. It's in the way she showed us that authenticity is more powerful than authority. That vulnerability can be strength. That one person's willingness to break with tradition can change millions of lives. Here's your challenge. In a world that often prizes appearance over authenticity, how will you dare to be real? What walls of prejudice or protocol will you break down with a simple act of human connection? Diana's story teaches us that the most revolutionary act isn't always grand gesture or bold statement. Sometimes, it's simply extending your hand when others pull back. It's choosing to see the humanity in those society has deemed untouchable. You don't need a crown to change the world. You just need the courage to reach out and touch it. Remember, the most powerful throne isn't made of gold. It's built on empathy, authenticity, and the willingness to connect with others when they need it most. That's a throne anyone can claim. Will you? On the next episode of Pop Culture Icons. As Diana's struggle for authenticity ended in tragedy, imagine a world where empathy could change everything. Have you ever wondered what happens when a leader's vision outpaces their time? In this week dedicated to influential figures, we journey from Buckingham Palace to the streets of America. The secret behind Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy lies not just in his words, but in the silent echoes of his nonviolent resistance. Discover how his fight for equality links back to Diana's search for genuine human connection, and why you won't want to miss this powerful story that connects our past to the present. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Fame Formula. 7 days, 7 brilliant tactics. Learn the mindset to go from invisible to influential using the dark arts of fame engineering. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/PCI. Thanks for watching.